Welcome. We are here at KUHS Studios, and we are the HET podcast, which stands for Historic Elitch Theater. And we are live, and we have a lot of amazing children events coming up. We have the 1101 experience, which is happening this Saturday. And then next weekend, we have the Children's Day International Film Festival. So we brought in a couple of our guests, and we have Era, the Neverland Mermaid, and Colette here in the studio.
Good morning,
Welcome.
Michael. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about your characters. And Colette has a gallery show coming up this weekend as part of the 1101 experience called Sassy in Steam. So, Era, let's talk about being a mermaid.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Being a mermaid is just the best. I mean, we get to wear cool outfits. We have this nice, long, flowing hair. But it's really great. My favorite part, of course, is meeting with kids and getting to talk to them. And really just those meet and greets are what keeps me going.
So how did you get started and how did you become a mermaid?
So I like to think I was a mermaid from a child because I used to always play mermaids in the pool and with my sister. And then about last year, I got my first tail and decided, okay, this is something I need to do more often. This is who I am. It's so fun. I love every aspect of it.
And so we will meet quite a few mermaids this weekend, this Saturday at the 1101 experience. You can find out more information about that at blissfest333.com, and you can come enjoy all the activities we have. But the really special thing is just having these mermaids. Let's talk about how you met up with other mermaids and what you're going to be doing at the 1101 experience.
Okay, great. So I met other mermaids through Facebook. I literally just searched Colorado mermaids until I found some and invited them to go swimming. And that's really how all of our mer relationships start out. We swim together, we form a pod, so a nice little group. And my mer sister Pearl will be with me on Saturday. We're going to have our own little grotto, and everyone's welcome to come up. We want to chat and play games. Of course, you're welcome to take pictures, but really it's all about building that relationship with everyone that stops by.
And Colette, let's talk a little bit about Sassy in Steam and a little bit of how you got started in steampunk and what you're learning from this experience, because this is a new experience for you.
It's reasonably new for me. Yeah, I think probably within the last 2 years, I would say. Steampunk for me is all about glamour and beauty and that timeless era of the Victorian era. But it also brings in that element of the mechanical and the learning, which is great because I'm a homeschool mom. So I teach my daughter full-time who has special needs. And I've become a librarian steampunk. I don't have my wings because they won't fit in here. But I am a librarian steampunk fairy that I was the queen last year for the Lafayette Festival of Fairy. And I took on the librarian character. It was a very natural role because I'm her teacher. So bringing all of these aspects of education of the Victorian era and the mechanical engineering just fascinates me. So helping kids develop who they are and find their own character is something that's been really great for me, but the sassy and steam part of it has taught adults too to bring out an inner character that they might find. They might be an explorer, or they might be a documenter, or an entertainer, or a mechanic, but there's something for everyone, and that's what I love about steampunk is it's not just one thing. You can make it your own in so many different ways. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and it's so fun, and what I mean by a new experience is with your gallery. Putting this new gallery together that we will see at 1101. You usually photograph women, but this time you got some of us in the photos. So now you've kind of stepped out and now working with men. And so how was the photo shoot and that whole experience?
The photo shoot was such an amazing experience because, as you're right, I normally do photograph female models. And to have you and Jessie and Kyla out there joining us, it made it a really great experience because it changes. The dynamics change when you have 3 male models and a group of, female models together. You get a different, more natural feeling. Because women and men together in society. We are all interacting as friends, as spouses, brother and sister, but to have everybody together at once, those personalities really came out, and you guys made it so much fun.
And really, the cool thing about this is tying it to the legacy of historic Helix Theater.
Yes.
We shot at the theater in
We
the old
did.
carousel with old cars
Yes,
too, which is a
we
little different than the whole idea of steam, but we could use our imagination and try new things with it, build our own stories. And so talk a little bit about being at the theater and the cars.
Well, I grew up at Elitch's. I grew up my whole life there. My grandmother grew up dancing at the Trocadero Ballroom on Elitch's with Mary Elitch. So it has a lot of history, a lot of personal history for me that I don't want it to die. So getting to shoot on location there was beyond a bucket list for me as a photographer. But bringing those cars in, yes, they're a little bit newer. They're 1920s, 1930s, so they're still a pretty old car, but they're not steam. They're not a steam train. But it also, I wanted to open it up to the community of thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
These cars are art in and of themselves. So having classic cars and showing them that, hey, you can be steampunk. You can have this new adventure, and maybe it'll inspire someone to create their own steampunk car. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, steampunk cars.
Come on, guys, do it for me. And I want to shoot with it.
Yeah.
But being there and bringing this whole other group of people in by bringing Twisted Steel Car Club and DJ and Lance bringing out their own individual cars to join us, they didn't even know what to expect. So when they got there and they saw these great costumes and the amount of time that these people put into not only their cars but the costumes and this beautiful blend together, I wanted to take off. I want to do it again. Like, I can't wait. What's the next thing?
Oh, and she was up, as I was too last night, like at 1 o'clock in the morning. She's like, oh, I got more photos to share. So you can see, I'll be sharing these photos on our Facebook page and Instagram and even Twitter. So just go ahead and search for Historic Helix Theater on all those social medias. And let's talk more about the art of becoming a mermaid, the art behind it, because it is an art dressing up. And let's talk about the art of the tail and just the whole outfit.
Absolutely. But can I first start by saying that this mermaid loves steampunk? Just gonna put that out there. I think it's so fantastic.
Yay.
There's so many different avenues, so many things different things you can do with it.
Oh,
I
that
might
would
have
be
to
cool.
go on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fun to shoot.
It would be. Absolutely.
We'll make plans.
I think we just did.
Yep. Yay.
Yay.
So becoming a mermaid, really, there's a lot that goes into making your persona, or as we call mersona. Really, what do I want to be more sultry, or do I want to drag people to their deaths? I mean, there's really a lot that you can do.
Gotta love sirens, right?
Right, absolutely. I personally am from Neverland. I'm more of a bubbly mermaid, and I like meeting people and new things, and I absolutely love it when humans can teach me things about their world. I've recently learned about Halloween, and I think that sounds amazing, and I really hope to be around this next Halloween so that I can participate. Yeah, absolutely. So being a mermaid really is coming together, just all these different pieces. Of course, we were born with our tails, but we have a lot of influence on what those are going to look like. There are different makers out there that can create completely custom tails, and they can do anything you want, and it's amazing what these makers are able to do this day and age as far as tails. There's different styles, there's different types. So you need to take that big part of your persona, create the character that you want. Of course, you need to pick accessories. You want to make all the accessories, and then shiny, all the shiny things. Yeah, we have treasure, of course. But then it's where do I go from there?
Yeah.
Am I, like I said, am I going to be bubbly? How am I going to interact with people? There's really a lot that goes into it. So oftentimes I'll just think, just to myself, like, what if I'm asked this question or this question or this question? How am I going to respond to that?
So let's talk about the kids.
Yeah.
So there was a band in here before, and they loved your character, and they one of the ladies was asking you to go into one of the hospitals in Colorado Springs, and so how is it working with children, and what kind of response do you get? And have you worked in a hospital yet, or gotten into hospitals or anything like that?
So I haven't worked in a hospital yet. It's definitely on my agenda. I have a couple of friends that have done that, so I asked them to take me along next time. But when a child walks up, I'm not sure if they're more excited or I'm more excited, because typically they're so excited to see a mermaid. It's something you've seen on TV and in person. But yeah, being able to meet someone on land is great. They can actually come up. They lots to touch my tail. By the way, mermaid tails are very ticklish. Side note on that. Yeah, it's great. I mean, they're just so excited. Sometimes they even are so excited they have to hide behind their parents because they're not too sure about what they see in front of them. But they definitely stare at you from the hallway, like all the way down. They know where the mermaids are all the time.
So I met Colette it's been over a year now.
It has been.
Yeah, and so she was at our last 1101 event, and we met through our photography walks.
We did.
So, and then you would always bring Rory, and we love seeing her and just her being a part of the community, and she just loves animals, and I just know, like, with what we're doing and bringing that community together, that Mary Elitch is just looking down and smiling, because that's what it's all about with Mary Elitch and Children's Day. So let's talk about Rory and her experience with working with us and bringing her into our events.
Well, I think for Rory, with the disabilities that she does have, the challenges of being an autistic child in a very busy world, giving her the opportunity to shine.
Yeah.
She loves people. She thrives when she can meet new people and make new friends, which is an unusual characteristic for someone with autism, but she's very almost hyper-focused on meeting new people. So bringing her to a safe environment where I know that within those doors, I can kind of turn her loose a little bit, and she can go around and explore and meet the other kids and play games and visit the vendors and experience this for herself. She's gotten to the point now where she's like, I don't want that, I want this. I want to wear this and not that.
Yeah.
So she's actually putting together her own persona of her steampunk outfits and color choices. Whereas before she wanted to dress a lot like Mom, now she's branching out and she wants to have her own thing and her own ideas.
That's great.
And I think that that's the creativity part that I enjoy so much about this with the kids, is giving them that opportunity to look at something other than a screen this big, or focus up and out of the world. So that she is so excited to watch Wizard of Oz at the Bug Theater.
Oh, great.
We have to bring her.
Yep, and that's part of Children's Day. We have, I believe it's the 80th anniversary.
It is.
So the 80th anniversary of the Wizard of Oz as part of our Children's Day International Film Festival. So we've got independent films. We have the Wizard of Oz. And we have, what's the other one else?
Is it Dumbo?
Yeah, Dumbo, that's it. The new Dumbo.
She's informed me. She knows all about them.
So, that'll be at the Bug Theater, and that's not this weekend, the following weekend. And you can go to etfest.com and check out all that information. So, and the Wizard of Oz. Oh, and we're also part of the International Youth Silent Film Festival. So we have brought the Denver Regional here, and a lot of our students from the Elitch Theater Academy has made a silent film. The Denver Open Media class, they made a film, and then other kids from Colorado have submitted their film. So that'll be happening too. And the president of the International Youth Silent Film Festival will be in attendance. And he's coming from Portland.
Wow.
And so he's flying in from Portland, and he's going to talk more about the International Youth Silent Film Festival. And we have an educators event on Saturday the 14th, starting at 4 p.m., and that's open up to all the community to come in and to learn about bringing the silent films into your schools and teaching the children how to make silent film. So we have a lot going on. And so once again, etfest.com, check out that information. And let's go back to the 1101 experience, because I met you at one of the conferences and then invited you. And so you kind of been doing the conference circuit then, right?
I have been. Yeah, I started earlier this year. So
let's talk about that and what is a con and what is that like and what are you learning from being a part of this culture?
So cons are magical things, conventions. I love that so many people can get together with a lot of the same interests. There have been times I've been out in more public places, and I want to talk about steampunk, I want to talk about mermaids, and not everyone's open to that or even knows what it is. But when you get into this group of people, everyone's like, oh, absolutely, like, let's talk about that. Like, I love this, I love that. And there's just so much room for creativity as well. Being a part of conventions it's also great. I mean, I love that I have a place where I can be. I know I'll be able to meet people and what I'll be doing. And there's so many activities. Sometimes I just someone can put me in my cart and roll me around and just so I can see all the different things. I thought that there was going to be some dancing at the 1101.
Yeah, so we have adventures in dance. And so we'll have some dance lessons. We're going to do a dance party. We'll have a DJ. And so not only can we just dress up and have fun, you don't even have to be a good dancer and just dance and just, that's really what we want, just to get the community together, have some fun and really, meet new friends. Like meeting Colette. We've become really good friends and we're pushing each other to new levels.
Yes, we are.
And by the way, I don't even have legs, and I want to be out there dancing, so it can't be any worse than that. They'll probably just be flopping around. But I'm gonna just have them push their buttons.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, let's talk about that. The friends that you've met just from a year ago, and how we're all working together to build this. So let's talk about kind of like the difference from last year. We're more focusing on the family and what your part is going to be this year.
So yeah, my part this year, again, like you said, is my gallery of sassy and steam. It's a combination with kind of the traditional pinup with the steampunk flair. So that's why the sassy and the steam come together. I'm very excited about the new changes. I'm excited about you challenging me to make each picture not only a work of art, but the frame itself.
Yes.
So the frames
different.
that you'll see at the gallery when you come, hopefully, everybody come out, come join us. Each frame is a work of art, and it was a group effort. My family got involved. My mom had the best time helping me. But we sat together as a group. Lori picked out different pieces to add in, and we used upcycled and recycled, repurposed old handbags and belts and purses, and just to make each frame a very unique piece, not only to the picture itself, but to the frame itself. And my hope is that someone will look at that image and go, I can put this image together and build a whole wall out of it, or build a whole room around it, just to encourage people to think outside of the box. You encouraged me to think outside of the box with those frames, let me tell you. Those were a challenge, but it was a fun challenge. And I look forward to doing more pieces like that in the future, where it brings in a lot of different aspects, not just the photography, but mixed media.
Well, and that's one thing, Mary Elich taught as part of her Children's Day is the arts and thinking outside of the box. And so, putting this together and then having the theater in it just really ties that legacy. Really, and just looking at them and knowing that you put that special touch, that your whole family was putting that special touch on it, just means so much, because it's not just a cheap frame that you can buy. This is nothing like that.
No.
Nothing like that.
You can see the general outline on some of them. But for the most part, you'd have to look really to see that they all once, okay, I'm giving away the secret, they were all once the same frame. And all we did was adapt them so that they did not look alike in any way, shape, or form.
Well, and I love the one that you painted and it actually matched the color of the theater.
Purely by accident. I got a hold of a bunch of paint samples from a paint store that they were just getting rid of all their samples. They're about this big. I'm like, what am I ever going to do with these? I just brought a bunch over to my mom, and she picked out the green, not knowing at all that it was going to match the exact color of the theater.
Yep,
worked out perfectly. It was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you've never been to the 11 experience, so let's kind of talk about like your thoughts, your ideas going into something new, and from what you're hearing and seeing, like what are we gonna see?
Right.
From you.
Yeah, exactly. So I was excited before. I knew mermaids are going to be there, and the kids, and a bunch of activities going on. Really looking forward to your exhibit. I love all the things I love. But then recently, I saw even more detailed list of things that are going to be there, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, I want to do all of these things. Like, how could I be two places at once?
Exactly.
I saw that there's going to be
always magic.
right, always magic, absolutely. I thought there's going to be a table to make wands.
Yeah.
Mermaids, of course, love magic, so that's so cool. I want to make a wand. Pretty much everything that the kids want to do, I also want to do.
And we have a scavenger hunt, so it's to get the kids moving around and talking and like networking and even the adult kids, you know. And so there'll be a scavenger hunt to kind of find different treasures throughout the event and then get to know like the vendors because this event we're not doing it about just selling and making money. It's a free event, like which you don't find anymore.
No.
And that's also with the Children's Day International Film Festival. It's free for children 18 and under. So we, want to give back. We're not about getting. And I mean, all of us, like, we're all volunteering our time. Like, this isn't something we're getting paid for. This is something out of just the love for the arts, the love for children. And so let's talk more about, volunteering and your time and what does that mean to you?
Well, I think for me, I know I'm not going to get rich doing what I do. It isn't about that for me. It's about giving back to the community. It's about encouraging the clients that I work with to find their own inner beauty. Unfortunately, society is so stuck on outward beauty that if I can bring that out of my client in the form of my art and my photography, then I hit a goal for myself. But when I bring that into this venue of the 1101 experience, I think it's important to get a hold of the kids and to encourage the kids, come out and do this. Bring your parents, bring your grandma, bring your aunt, whoever you want to bring. But encouraging the kids to find themselves, the kids to find their self-confidence.
Yes.
Because I think that a lot of kids these days, unfortunately, it doesn't matter if they're homeschool, public school, wherever they are, they struggle. These kids struggle a lot with judgment and bullying, and I want, however that looks for me, I'm not sure what that looks like yet, but I want to encourage these kids to find themselves. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. Find what makes you happy. Find your own inner character and your own inner confidence. And how can we help foster that and bring that out of them?
And that's the great thing too, is finding, because here we are, we live our daily lives, and it's almost an act just to leave your house. And here you could put on a costume and just feel free to be who you are, or to be a superhero, or just to, have that fantasy. And so go ahead.
Yeah, well, I think that's a great point that you brought up. Even at my age, sometimes I still wonder what do people think.
Yeah.
But by becoming a mermaid or taking on these other characters, it really doesn't matter. And I know that I'm bringing joy to someone else, and that's absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
And encouraging more volunteers. Like, you don't have to wear a costume to come out. You can if you want.
Yeah.
But we need logistics people. We need people who know people that want to come out and join us. So people
and
who
to build this. The promotion.
The
that
promotion
is
the biggest thing. Like, spread the word. Tell people about us. Put it on your Facebook page. Everybody can click share.
Yep.
It takes like a nanosecond to go, and you click it. And people are going to read these opportunities, and who knows who will find that wants to come out and join us and volunteer their time and help us bring the children back into the theater at English Gardens.
And
that's what's so important, is to bring the kids back and bring entertainment back to what Mary Eilish developed so long ago.
And next year is the theater's 130th birthday. So
construction, let's go.
So we're looking at next year as actually doing the 1101 experience and making it more of a family con on the original grounds of Eilish Gardens.
Oh, I
so
oh my gosh.
Yep, it looks like we'll be moving, and we'll be in the carousel shell in the plaza, and Mary Eilish had over 3,000 children there. We want that back.
We want that
over
back.
3,000 children.
Absolutely.
And how did she do it? I mean, I have kids. Watching 3,000 children, I can only imagine, but she did it. An amazing lady. So let's talk. We only have just a few more minutes. So let's talk about how to find you on social media. Do you have a website? More about you and where we can find you.
Oh, absolutely. So I can be found on Facebook at my page, Ara the Neverland Mermaid, or I can be found on Instagram at Ara Mermaid. And I do post a lot of things on there. You can see swimming videos, you can see just me in my everyday life because mermaids also have to work. But I think it's a really great way to also connect with that community. I have met just so many people and so many merfolk across the world, and we built this really cool community that anyone's welcome in. And I think what's really special about the mermaid community. A great example is I had a friend from the Netherlands send me a gift just out of nowhere, just because she thought I would like it. And I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
And it's cool to always talk about building that persona or putting together your outfit. Is it going to be safe in water?
Yeah.
Is it going to be effective? Is it going to hurt any lakes or oceans that you happen to be in? There's a big conservation component in there as well. It's a great opportunity. So
well, I think there's educational opportunities for what you do.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, I mean, being in the oceans is a big deal, and giving the kids little ways that they can do something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like an unsurmountable task to save the ocean, but if everybody had that one little piece that they could do, that's empowering for kids.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And a lot of it's just education.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And how about you, Colette?
Well, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook as well. I'm at Sassy Knot Photography, and that's KNOT, not NOT. But it is Sassy Knot because my parents' photography company is Rustic Knot, and it is all about the tree of life in my logo. And the base of the tree is the Celtic Trinity knot. So knots are very special to me as our trees. But the Sassy Knot, we get to be a little more sassy. You can find me all over.
And you were mentioning about a lot of the women that you photographed. Can you talk a little more about that? We haven't talked too much about that you just bring in women of all sizes, like you're not judgmental, and that's important.
Not at all. You probably can't see because I'm sitting down, but I am a plus-size woman as well. So I have struggled with body image. I have struggled with judgment. I have struggled with my own self-confidence, which I still do, admittedly.
Me too.
It's a struggle for everybody.
Yes.
But when I get the opportunity to work with women of all shapes and all sizes and all racial backgrounds and preferences, I get to strip all of that away. Because I'm strictly focusing on who they are as a person in that moment, wherever we happen to be. If we are on site at a car show, if we are in front of a village theater, if we are in a pond, in a stream. Hopefully back in a stream. So focusing on who they are and bringing out that confidence in them, it changes me. I worked with a woman who didn't feel beautiful at all. And I took a picture of her. I have killed myself trying to take it.
Mm-hmm.
But I took the picture from up above because I wanted the hood of the car that I was in there with. So I'm standing on the bumper and the hood. And when I took the picture and I sent it to her, she said, "Oh my gosh, how many hours did it take you editing that picture?" And I said, "Probably not many." I said, "I brightened your eyes and put a little vintage color on it because we wanted it to look more 1940s." And when I showed it to her, she goes, "No, come on, really? Like, how many hours?" About 30 minutes, really. She goes, "No, what did you do to my body?" I said, "Sweetheart, I did nothing to you. This is you." I said, "It's all about the angle, knowing the person, what they're comfortable with, and how you can help bring that out." And she literally cried, and she said, "It's the first time in my life that I've ever felt good." That right there is what it's about. It's about showing women and men that regardless of your size, of your preference, you have an inner beauty. And if I can get that opportunity to let you trust me, I can help bring that out of you. And that's what it's about for me.
And that's another huge part of cosplay, I think, because it's not all these standard clothes that everyone's wearing. I can make this how I want it. Maybe I want to do this character, but I'm going to alter it. I'm going to make it so that I'm comfortable, so that I feel good about myself.
It's very important. Mm-hmm.
So we are about out of time. Check out our events. Both of them are honoring Mary Elich and her Children's Day. The 1101 Experience, which is a family-friendly mini-con, and so we have a lot of activities, a scavenger hunt, prizes, dress up as you like, be who you like, be true, and be you. And we're all about creating unity in the community. And so go to etfest.com, go to blissfest333.org or .com. I have both domains there. and just check out everything we're doing. And we are just looking forward to these events this Saturday
And bring your
starting.
classic car show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Classic
We have a
cars.
car show too, and we
Yes.
have a Batmobile. We have
Yes.
Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park. So a
Bring the
lot
kids
of
out, take
fun.
their pictures with these great cars. If
So
you have a classic car and you want to come out, go to the website. There's a link there. It takes about 2 minutes.
we'll see
and
you
you're
in
registered.
2 weeks.
Bye.
A